Berlin en deuil ce matin est cerné par des cordons de police après l'incendie qui s'est déclaré la nuit dernière dans un bar.
On a entendu une déflagration à 1h30 du matin qui ressemblait absolument pas à un feu d'artifice. Le bruit change vraiment. Et après, un gros balai d'hélicoptère qui est arrivé un quart d'heure après sur place. Et après, des pompiers et les services de secours. Ça a complètement soufflé l'immeuble voisin et l'immeuble qui est au-dessus du bar.
L'établissement, le Constellation, accueillait une centaine de personnes pour cette nuit du réveillon. Le sinistre a débuté vers 1h30 selon la police et aurait été suivi par une explosion dont on ne connaît pas à ce stade l'origine. Plusieurs personnes auraient perdu la vie et de nombreux autres blessés ont été évacués par hélicoptère vers les hôpitaux de la région. La zone est désormais totalement bouclée et interdite au survol.
January 1st, 2026. What should have been a night of celebration in the Swiss alpine resort of Kranz, Montana turned into one of the darkest moments in the town's modern history. An explosion inside a crowded bar shattered lives in seconds, leaving multiple people dead, many others seriously injured, and an entire community searching for answers. This is not just a story about what happened, but about why such tragedies still occur, and what lessons the world must learn. What exactly happened in Kranz, Montana on New Year's Day? In the early hours of January 1st, an explosion followed by a rapidly spreading fire broke out inside a popular bar in Kranz, Montana during New Year celebrations. The venue was crowded with locals and tourists when the blast occurred, causing panic, structural damage, and severe injuries within moments. Where did the explosion take place? The incident occurred at a bar in the resort town of Kranz, Montana in the canton of Valais, Switzerland, a location known for winter tourism and holiday gatherings. How severe was the human impact? Authorities reported several fatalities and a large number of injured people, many of whom suffered serious burns and smoke inhalation. Hospitals across the region were placed under emergency pressure as victims were transferred for urgent treatment. Was this incident considered a deliberate attack? Swiss authorities made it clear early in the investigation that there was no evidence pointing to terrorism or an intentional act. The explosion has been treated as an accident, with investigators focusing on technical and safety-related causes. What were the first theories about the cause? Initial theories included the possibility of a gas leak, a heating or electrical malfunction, or the ignition of flammable materials during New Year celebrations. None of these explanations were immediately confirmed, and investigators emphasized caution against speculation. Why are gas and fire incidents so dangerous in enclosed spaces? In enclosed venues, gas accumulation or rapid ignition can create extreme pressure and heat in seconds. Fire spreads faster, oxygen is consumed quickly, and escape routes can become blocked, dramatically increasing the risk of fatalities. Have similar tragedies happened elsewhere? Yes. Around the world, deadly fires and explosions in bars, clubs, and public venues have often shared common factors such as overcrowding, indoor ignition sources, poor ventilation, or delayed emergency response. Kranz, Montana fits into a broader global pattern rather than being an isolated case. How strong are safety regulations in Switzerland? Switzerland generally has strict building codes and fire safety regulations. However, even strong regulations rely on consistent enforcement, regular inspections, and proper maintenance to remain effective. What role does maintenance play in preventing disasters? Aging infrastructure, faulty gas systems, outdated wiring, or poorly maintained safety equipment can all turn minor issues into catastrophic failures if not detected and addressed in time. Could human error have contributed? Human error is often a contributing factor in accidents of this kind, whether through improper use of equipment, failure to follow safety procedures, or oversight during inspections. Investigators typically examine both individual actions and organizational responsibility. What about corporate or managerial responsibility? Businesses that operate public venues carry a legal and ethical duty to ensure safe conditions for guests. This includes compliance with safety laws, staff training, and responsible decision-making during high-risk events like crowded celebrations. Why do economic pressures sometimes lead to safety risks? Cost-cutting, understaffing, and delayed upgrades can weaken safety systems over time. When profit or convenience outweighs precaution, the margin for error disappears. What steps were taken immediately after the explosion? Emergency services sealed off the area, deployed helicopters and ambulances, and transported the injured to specialized hospitals. Authorities also established support centers to help families locate missing loved ones. What is investigators' main goal now? The primary goal is to identify the exact cause of the explosion, determine whether safety regulations were breached, and establish accountability if negligence is found. What lessons does Crans, Montana offer the world? This tragedy highlights the importance of strict enforcement of safety standards, transparent inspections, clear emergency planning, and zero tolerance for shortcuts in public venues. How can similar tragedies be prevented in the future? Prevention depends on stronger oversight, regular infrastructure upgrades, clear rules for indoor celebrations, staff training, and public awareness about emergency procedures. Why does this story matter beyond Switzerland? Because crowded venues exist everywhere, and the same risks apply globally. The lessons from Crans, Montana are relevant to any place where people gather to celebrate. Finally, the explosion in Crans, Montana was not just a moment of destruction, but a warning. A reminder that safety cannot be assumed, regulations must be enforced, and accountability must be real. Remembering what happened is not about fear, but about responsibility. Only by learning from tragedy can future lives be protected. If you found this video informative, please share it to help raise awareness. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more educational and in-depth content.